Previously on the Rod Pedersen Show.
It's the top 5 teams in the National Hockey League as we sit here opening the 5th week of the regular season. Are you ready? Number 1, it's the Vegas Golden Knights, Canada's team, Arnie. They've won 8 in a row. They're number 1 in the NHL and the hottest team in the NHL. Number 2, the Boston Bruins, best start in franchise history, number 1 in the East. Number 3, the New Jersey Devils, 7 in a row is 7 in a row. Who knows how long it'll last, but they're hot now. 3rd hottest team in the NHL. Number 4, the Winnipeg Jets. They keep winning. Jets. Jets. Can I say this, Moose? 6th best record in the NHL? 6th best? Enjoy it while it lasts. And the 5th best team, number 1 in the Central, is nothing to sneeze at. It's the Dallas Stars. But they lost in Winnipeg last night, so we can't put them ahead of Winnipeg. So 1 Vegas, 2 Boston, 3 New Jersey, 4 Winnipeg, 5 Dallas. Any arguments?
No, I don't actually. And having the Jets in there is huge. You talk about seismic shifts. We lost the Rangers out of there, the Flames, the Oilers, all falling out of the top 5. And that's where you're going to see a lot of movement. So move them out, shuffle in New Jersey, Dallas, and the Winnipeg Jets, and let's roll. I like it.
Get ready for the Rod Pedersen Show.
In the 80s, wearing Cooperalls, for those that don't know, the hockey pants that were actual pants that went right down to your ankles, was a status symbol. And believe me, they were. And people are writing me, no, they weren't, Rod. That's why they didn't last. Okay, maybe not in your world, because you don't know what it's like to be cool. But in the 80s, if you had Cooperalls, you were cool. And the Philly Flyers are bringing them back. But people that don't know cool, they will never, ever be convinced of that.
This is the Rod Pedersen Show.
Hello, everybody. Happy Thursday. Welcome to the RP Show. We're live from Grey Eagle Resort and Casino, and I can tell you there are some very long faces here at Calgary's entertainment destination, and it's because it's our last show of 2022 here. Can you believe it? 21 weeks in this wonderful facility. Today's the last show.
That?
We will be
Hell
off on Friday. I can very appropriately say we've saved the best for last, because coming up on the program today, our good and longtime friend Theoren Fleury, Olympic gold medalist, Stanley Cup champion, and now founder, we say, Theo, who's to my left. He's coming up next segment. Canadians for Truth. He's smiling already. And Lisa Bose is going to join us. You all know her, the famous TSN reporter. She's been in Calgary for quite some time. Lisa Bose is going to be here. We got Gerry, Haracsi, the chairman of Spirit of Edmonton, as we get ready for the Grey Cup next week in the Queen City. And the winner of Grey Cup tickets, courtesy our contest from Regal, will be joining us later. That is a secret who it's going to be. Let's bring in the Moose. He is in Saskatoon getting ready for the Hardy Cup. What a weekend, Moose. Listen, this is like our Friday, so are you ready for the Huskies and the T-Birds? What's the outlook there?
Yeah, it's going to be great. You know, the Huskies are the number 1 team in the conference and a top 5 team in Canada. And it's fun, but it's cold. The outlook is cold, man. It's cold. And UBC coming in on the weekend. It should be fun, but I think we're getting what you have in Calgary. I think it's minus 25 this morning. So we'll be prepared.
Well, fortunately, it's warming up a little bit here in the foothills. Can you hit the quick 6 show horn, Director Jordan, and we will get down to business? By the way, the staff's lining up to see Theo. They love some Theo here in Calgary in a Grey Eagle Resort and Casino. Correct? Yeah. He'll be signing autographs. There he is before he gets out of here. Okay, number 1, we're breaking with tradition. We're not going to necessarily go into all the last night's games in the NHL, the dub, and so forth, but we will talk about one thing. I would have rather have watched Ovi and Sid, which the Penguins won last night 4-1, but no, I had the Canadians and the Canucks on in my room, and that's fine. The Montreal Canadiens jumped out to a 3-0 first-period lead. Mike Hoffman scored for the 3rd time in 2 days, and the Habs topped the Canucks 5-2. Kirby Hickory Dickory Dock, the former Blade, had a pair of goals for the first time since being traded to Montreal from Chicago. Nick Suzuki and Arbor Jacki also scored for Montreal. But it was another loss for the Canucks. And you saw Bruce Boudreau afterwards, Darren, I'm sure you did, explaining the latest loss. Everybody in Vancouver is pointing the finger at each other there. You see it. The president's pointing the finger at the coach. The players are pointing the fingers at each other. The coach is pointing the finger at the players. It never really ends up well. And so I want the viewers' take on this. The coaches on the hot seat in the National Hockey League. I think there are quite a few now. We're coming up on U.S. Thanksgiving. It's 2 weeks from today. We always say U.S. Thanksgiving's the cutoff when you kind of know what you got as a team in the NHL. So these are our poll question for Capital Auto Mall Universal Collision Center is this. Who will be the first coach fired in the National Hockey League? These are the options I came up with. You may not agree, Darren, but I got Bruce Boudreau of the Canucks, Dallas Eakins of the Anaheim Ducks, and Sheldon Keefe of the Leafs or other. And you see on TSN and Sportsnet, they don't talk about this stuff anymore because everybody wants to be friends. We got to be nice. I don't care about that. I'm going back to the States in a couple of weeks, and that's all they talk about down there is who should be fired in the NFL and college football and so forth. So of that, if we can do we still have the Moose? I'm going to say Dallas Eakins for a couple reasons. The Ducks are pathetic. They lost again last night. And Dallas Eakins isn't Pat Verbeek's guy, the new GM of the Ducks. He was Bob Murray's guy. So I say it will be Dallas Eakins, but maybe it'll be your Leafs coach. What do you think?
Well, I could see it, but I don't know if it'll be Sheldon Keefe. The Boudreau thing's interesting because when things aren't good at the top, you keep pointing the finger to people below you to try and get the attention away from you, right? Distraction. So it's not our fault, it's his fault. It's not our fault, it's his fault. It's his fault. So I could see Boudreau being the first one gone. The interesting one for me, in terms of the team that's maybe been my biggest disappointment so far early in the year, has been Columbus. But you're not going to fire Brad Larson, I don't think, first year as a head coach. I think you're going to see that through. But you haven't had Liney in the lineup. He's been in the lineup for 6 games. He's underperforming. Gaudreau, while he's leading the team in scoring, he's got 9 points in 12 games. Not lighting the world on fire. This is supposed to be a team that's supposed to be in the playoffs and start to be on the upswing. So Columbus is my biggest disappointment. But if I had to answer the poll question, I'd probably go with Boudreau being the first one gone.
I'm going to call it up right now and see what they are saying on the poll so far. They're saying Bruce Boudreau, 39% saying Bruce Boudreau will be the first coach fired in the National Hockey League. A tie virtually between Dallas Eakins and Sheldon Keefe. By the way, from the viewers, as a very large portion of our viewership is in the United States on Game Plus TV, Darren Workman in Utah says, Theoren Fleury, greatest Salt Lake Golden Eagle of all time. Is that true, Theo? Is that a long list? You think in your head, who are the other guys? I'd say Grimmer's on that list, too. And also, we're on the radio in Atlanta. The Big Peach, WQEE, and Ryan O'Radio says, RPShow on air. Time for another great show. It will be because Theo's with us and Lisa Bowes and some contest winners, and everybody is in a good mood. Don't ask me how the Atlanta Hawks did last night. Hashtag true to Atlanta because we got our ass kicked. I don't want to talk about it. A word from by the Utah Jazz. What's up with all this Utah talk today? Hey, a word from our sponsor, Kinsman Telemiracle 47 online 50-50 raffle is live now. In support of Telemiracle 47, the raffle starts with a guaranteed jackpot of $100,000. The pot, of course, will be split in half. You can buy your tickets now. Telemiracle5050.com. Go there to buy your tickets. They can be purchased by anyone over the age of 19. You have to physically be in the province of Saskatchewan to do it. But like the two Made in Sask guys here in hour one, myself and Theo, we got enough people in Sask that can buy those tickets for us. Our first two 50-50 raffles raised over $1 million to support Kinsman Foundation in Saskatchewan. So don't delay. Get yours today. We'll make the draw on Friday, December the 16th. Point 2, Evander Kane's going to be out of the Oilers lineup for 3 to 4 months after being cut on the left wrist by a skate blade. The injury happened at Edmonton's 3-2 win at Tampa on Tuesday. We've all seen it. It's ugly. You need to talk about it, but I don't want to really see it again. I didn't, at the risk of sounding too morbid, I assume it was the top of his wrist, not the bottom of his wrist. If it was the bottom of his wrist, he might not still be with us. If it's the top, I think we all remember Josh Holden, 1997 WHL playoffs. Had it happen against the Moose Jaw Warriors, of all things. Cut his top of his wrist. Josh Holden, first-round pick of the Vancouver Canucks. He was never the same. And the plastic surgeon, whom I know personally, it was an accident, okay? But the pinky tendon got attached to the ring finger, and the ring finger tendon got attached to the pinky. So every time Holden goes to wiggle his pinky, this one moves.
Oh,
and back, he told me about it. It's okay. He's talked about it on this show. So I hope, for Evander's sake, more than anything, that he comes back and he's fine, Darren. But what do you think this means to the Edmonton Oilers?
It's a big blow to the Oilers because he had fit in so seamlessly, and it felt like all the distractions were gone when he got to Edmonton. It felt like he fit right in. It's a safe and secure locker room, and they handled it really well. And he's playing on the top line and driving a lot of offense. So I think this is a big issue for Edmonton. I really do. 3 to 4 months is a long time, and they're going to have to find a way to survive without him. I do think this is an opportunity. It's an opportunity for somebody like Kyler Yamamoto or Jesse Puljujarvi or somebody to log those minutes and step up. I just don't know if they have somebody who will be able to fill his shoes.
Oh, boy. Here we go. Now we're getting into it. Daniel, he's a new viewer. He's watching on YouTube. He says, the Canucks were pathetic last night. Demko plays like he doesn't even care. I love that. I'm glad that you brought that up because here's what you see with a bad culture. A hockey team is no different than a bad company. When you look at the guy beside you and go, well, he's getting away with taking shortcuts. She's getting away with showing up late for work. Why would I care? That happened if the leader's not holding people accountable. And that's what's happening with the Vancouver Canucks. And I don't know how you get out of this. Although Allie in Texas says she thinks Dallas Eakins will be fired. But I'm not always right, just normally right. We'll see. Oleg is watching in Winnipeg. He says, Theo is a Hall of Famer. I don't care what the committee says. We all agree. My cousin Christine's watching in Medicine Hat. And she says, there's a framed Theo jersey in the brand new Boston Pizza here. Love it. From Patrolman Pete in Winnipeg, he says, with all due respect to Theo, Winnipeg's own Dave the Wrecker Rechkozy is my favorite Salt Lake Golden Eagle of all time. He liked that one. Never heard of him. We've never heard of him. How can he be the greatest ever? Our NHL coverage is brought to you by Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. They're hiring now. Find out everything you need to know about Bronco at broncoplumbing.com and our Facebook and Instagram pages. I talked to Camco over there from Bronco. He's looking forward to me coming home for Grey Cup week. We're going to spend some time together. To football, we're going to kick this into high gear as Theo is coming in next. Did you see Jeff Saturday losing it at his news conference yesterday, the newest head coach of the Indianapolis Colts? He's saying, yeah, I've never coached before, ever. I know I was just on ESPN last week, but I played 14 years in the NFL. I've been to 2 Super Bowls. I played with 5 Hall of Famers. I've seen excellence. It reminded me a lot of Kevin Lowe saying, I won 5 Stanley Cups as a player. Of course I'm qualified to run the Edmonton Oilers. How'd that work out? Like, I don't have anything against Jeff Saturday, but do you not see disaster written all over this? And he also said, if after the next 8 games I fail, I'll be the first guy to walk out and say thanks for the opportunity. Ooh. I would hate to be a Colts fan right now.
It's a tough spot to be a Colts fan. Now, the upside, I think there's a lot of upside with Jeff Saturday because, you know, he's played with Hall of Famers. He knows what it takes to win. He's been coached by, Tony Dungy was one of his coaches, right? Hall of Fame
what he
head
said.
coach.
Yeah.
So he's been trained in that sense. But he's never coached. He's never been in the hot seat. And until you are, you don't know how you're going to respond. So it is so tough. I admire him sticking up for himself and saying, look, if this doesn't go well, I'll say, see you later, and I'll wish you all the best. And if it goes really well, he doesn't know how it's going to turn out. But, man, he's kind of just flopping in the wind here in the breeze. And it is the people that are hung out to dry the most, you're right, are Colts fans because their season is over.
The first news conference, he's defending himself and losing his mind. Where do we see it going from here? Oh, man.
Right.
Hey, speaking of football, how about this? Ballers Rec Room and Twisted Tea are hosting the biggest party during Grey Cup week, featuring players and the Grey Cup. It's Friday, November the 18th. We're going to be there. Get your tickets today at eventbrite.com. Our good friends, World Series champion Greg Zahn, Grey Cup champion Charleston Hughes going to be there. I just continue to get more and more lists. Can you say who's going to be there? I don't know what I'm allowed to say or not. Just basically the who's who is going to be at the party at Ballers. What can you say?
Bet Regal ambassadors are going to be there. Damon Allen's going to be there. We're trying to confirm Matt Dunnigan to see if he's going to be able to fit us into his schedule. I'm pretty sure he is going to be there. And then the number of players who have told me they're going to let me know by the end of the week. So watch the social feeds. Literally all-stars, Hall of Famers. It's going to be packed full of players. It's a place where they're hanging out on the Friday night. So get tickets and come hang out with them.
And the Grey Cup will be there, as we said. I think it's 9 p.m. You can get your picture taken with it. By the way, a word from our sponsor, Edo Japan. Delicious Japanese-inspired meals and snacks made to order with high-quality ingredients. Get yours, Edo Japan. I'm going to talk about Connor Bedard a little later. He was all over both networks' highlights last night. What do you have, a goal and 4 helpers for God's team, the Regina Pats, and a 7-4 win over the Edmonton Oil Kings. So Connor, despite the fact he's on a 500 team, Theo, there's your laugh for the day, Theo. You're welcome. Connor's lighting it up. I'm going to speed this up. Last point, and then we'll break and bring in Theo. It's an abbreviated, it was kind of a football Friday in a way because we have no show to observe Remembrance Day tomorrow and observe and respect the veterans. At betregal.ca, here's the betting lines for Sunday's CFL Division Finals. BetRegal's our exclusive and official betting partner in the CFL Sportsbook. The East Final has Montreal at Toronto. They haven't met in 10 years in the East Final. The Alouettes and Argos. Toronto's favored by 3.5 at home at BMO. Deal or no deal?
Oh, boy.
Deal, they say. So.
Yeah. You know what? I'm taking it. I'll go with them. I'll take the deal. I'll take Toronto.
How about that? He's taking it. And
How about that?
Me too.
Spicy.
Me too. He's an Avalanche fan. Wrong sports. And the BC Lions are at the Winnipeg Blue Bombers in the West Final, and the Bombers are favored by 4.5. The odds makers say WestJet, Nathan Rourke's going to be grounded in the West Final. 4.5 point favorite, the Bombers. Deal or no deal?
I got a deal there, too. You got me for a deal.
Deal! Everybody say a deal.
Yeah. I thought the spread would be a little bigger.
Okay, so you got the home teams to win, Moose, and cover in both cases. All right, you go enjoy your day and do whatever you do in Saskatoon.
All right, guys. Say hi to everybody.
All right, the great Darren Moose DuPont. When we return, the great Theoren Fleury. We're live from Grey Eagle Resort and Casino, the Stage Bar on Game Plus TV, YouTube Live, your favorite podcast platform, and WQEE, your southern home of sports and talk, 99.1 FM.
Have you subscribed to the Rod Pedersen Show YouTube channel yet? Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now.
Grey Eagle Resort and Casino. Grey Eagle Resort and Casino.
And that's a wrap on summer, everyone. Things are about to get back to busy. Work, school, errands, they're all coming back. That's why we make buying easy at Capital GMC. Reserve your brand new truck or SUV today. Check out our great selection of in-stock GM-certified pre-owned trucks. And make some cold hard cash by selling us your used vehicle. We pay big, and you can skip the hassle of selling privately. Plus, our service department is always here to help with any make or model. Capital GMC, making back to busy easy.
Nestled in the scenic Qu'Appelle Valley, just 20 minutes northwest of Regina, is one of the finest golf courses in all of Saskatchewan, the Deer Valley Golf Club. The clubhouse has a full-service restaurant, and customers can enjoy a casual dining experience with spectacular views of the golf course and valley. A fully stocked golf shop, staffed by PGA of Canada professionals, is equipped to meet all of your golf apparel and equipment needs. Book your tee time, family event, or corporate tournament today at the Deer Valley Golf Club. Call 306-731-1445.
You might not be injured if you slip and fall, or you might injure your knee, leading to joint damage or even a permanent disability. Take safer steps with WorksafeSask.ca.
Does this look familiar? Your fans deserve an incredible arena experience. It's time for an upgrade. Stunning graphics. Revenue opportunities are just the beginning with our in-venue display systems and scoring technology. Let us help you find the best solution for your facility. EDG, always delivering the best fan experience.
I gotta hit the beat. I gotta hit the beat. Gotta hit the
Download Dark Horse Bets today.
beat. I gotta hit the beat.
Text 902-518-3033. 902-518-3033. Pick up your phone and text RP, that's Rod Pedersen. Text 902-518-3033.
We're live 21 weeks at that wonderful facility, Regal Resort and Casino, wrapping up here today. I know, right? Thank you so much, but long faces for all of us that we're heading home, but we'll be back here in the spring. All right, enough preamble. Theoren Fleury played 1,084 NHL games, 1,088 points. Stanley Cup champions getting applause already. They love him here, Theo. They love you, Theo. How you doing, my man?
I'm doing good.
Good. You're looking great. Mm-hmm. What do you got going on here?
I'm wearing my Salto 3 Stars outfit. I was up in North Battleford a month ago, spoke at a kind of a sportsman's dinner, honoring a bunch of kids up there who they won the Saskatchewan Indigenous Summer Games. And so they were honoring all the kids, and they gave me these.
That is some nice gear.
How about that?
If the Spokane Chiefs have anything to say about that?
Exactly, yes.
So before we get into some hockey stuff, you got the best analysis here right now, but we'll get to that and some viewer questions too. Canadians for Truth.
Yes.
This is your new thing.
My new gig, yeah.
Tell me about it.
Well, it started in 2020. A guy named Joseph Borgo, who's a very successful...
Borgo Industries.
Yes, Borgo Industries. And so because the media was not telling the truth about therapeutics and mask wearing and all that, this is where Canadians for Truth started. And so Joe and his team of people were putting out information about, therapeutics and the dangers of wearing masks, etc. And then Joe ended up traveling to Ottawa for the convoy. And when he got there, he saw that it was kind of unorganized. And so he rented, I think, a couple hundred rooms, got some boardrooms, brought all the trucker captains together and got them organized so it remained a peaceful protest.
Or it wouldn't have otherwise, maybe?
And then while Joe was there, Aaron O'Toole stepped down as the leader of the Conservative Party of Canada. And that's where I come into the equation, because Joe called me and said, I'm going to run for leadership. Would you campaign with me? And I was like, yeah, absolutely. So we went out, we got all the signatures, we raised $100,000 more than we were supposed to, and then they kicked us out of the race because we were speaking too much truth, which then exposed the Conservative Party of Canada for being as corrupt as the Liberal Party of Canada. So then we were like, okay, well, what are we going to do now? And so I suggested that we start a media company, and so we were looking around for office space, found a beautiful spot in Quarry Park, and the office is all set up. The media company is going, and we're doing live shows now with Jamie Soleil, and yeah, it's been a really fun experience and a cool experience, and Joe is the real deal. He is the real deal. He's one of the smartest, filled with most integrity, class guy that I've ever been around. He's super smart business wise, and he's very well educated in the medical field as well. He had a life-threatening illness in the 90s that almost killed him, and he went through the conventional medical systems, couldn't find any answers, and then he found the holistic world of healing, and got himself better, and he's probably the most fit, most healthy 66-year-old guy that I know.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, and the fact that you want to go into politics, I say hats off to you, partner, because I want nothing to do with it. And I see what you're dealing with, just in hate.
Yeah.
We're getting a little of it today from my friends, my left-wing friends. I'm sure you have left-wing friends too. You can accept other people's viewpoints, but you told me a long time ago, you're used to being the villain. This goes back to as a team.
Yeah.
So I think you think your whole life's kind of led you to this now. Am I right?
Yeah, 100%. Everything, there are no coincidences in life. And, 7 years ago when Trudeau he became the prime minister, I started to see our country, go downhill. And that's when I really started to follow politics and realized, and at that point, I hadn't really been involved in politics. I think I maybe voted once or twice up until that point. And, when I saw Trump come down the escalator in 2015, I was like, what the hell is this guy doing running for the presidency of the United States? So I started following, and I started doing research, and, took me down the rabbit hole. But I realized, because I didn't know if I was conservative, libertarian, liberal.
You're just you.
I was, right? And what I realized is that I'm a patriot. I'm a freedom-loving, free speech, free choice. And I believe as a citizen of Canada, I have 3 responsibilities: pay my taxes, vote, and stay out of jail. Other than that, I do not need the government involved in my life at any point or any time. And so basically what we've been trying to do is discern what the truth is. And I believe that after everything I've been through in my life led me to this place where, in 2009, I told my truth, and I've been standing in my truth ever since. And it's actually a really good place to be. And I know that I do take a lot of abuse online, but I know that I'm standing in my truth. I would have never thought that I would bring up the word God as much as I have in the last 3 years, but it's really been the foundation with which I rebuilt my life was this component of spirituality, and the simple fact that we're at the Grey Eagle Casino and Resort, which is a Indigenous enterprise. I've done all my healing in the Indigenous community, and I really believe that the Indigenous people of the world have the greatest untapped resource of medicine on the planet.
They know it. We're just figuring it out.
And I've used this medicine for the last 17 years of my life, and it's significantly changed from a cellular level every aspect of my life.
So, from the viewers, if you wouldn't mind some questions, which I know you don't mind. Oleg in Winnipeg says, I have a question for Theo. Is your heart no longer in hockey, or do you see yourself one day wanting to get back into a full-time role in hockey?
Well, we're trying to save the world right now, so I think that's way more important than than the hockey world. Obviously, everything I have in my life has come from the game of hockey, which I'm incredibly grateful for. But when I was done, I was done. You know, I just, and I really felt a calling that there was something bigger and more important out there that needed my attention and needed my my energy. And, you know, I've spent, you know, the last 15 years in trauma, mental health, and addiction, which really ties into what I'm doing now, you know, because the whole entire planet over the last 3 years has suffered systemic government abuse at the highest level. And so, you know, a lot of people that I meet with on a daily basis at Canadians for Truth are people who have been traumatized from the last 3 years.
Yeah. Well, and it's funny, by the way, somebody brought up on the weekend about something that had happened during COVID way back at the start, and I'm like, oh, I don't even want to think about it. That was 2-3 years ago or whatever. You know, actually, the last time you were here, we talked about that. We were all locked up in our own heads, really, which is the worst place to be.
The worst place to be is inside of your own head when you have mental health challenges, right? And, you know, and I really believe that everything's been pre-planned and premeditated, and, you know, we're following a script from the World Economic Forum. And call me crazy, but just go grab Klaus Schwab's book, The Great Reset. I believe we're on chapter 7 or 8 of that novel right now. And so, you know, just go do your own research. The truth is all out there. And not only that, they're actually telling us what they're going to do. They're not hiding it.
Yeah.
No. So
where can they follow you?
We're at CanadiansForTruth.net. We have a live show next Saturday here in Calgary with Big Red, Chris Barber from Swift Current, Saskatchewan, who was one of the convoy leader guys. So we're excited to have him. Our last 2 live shows, we had Pastor Arthur Pawlowski, who has an incredible story, came from Poland, communist Poland, and, you know, created a really successful life here in Canada. And they threw him in jail for putting on church services and feeding the homeless during COVID.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Wayne in Victoria, BC says, one thing about Theo is that he's as honest as it gets. From John in Winnipeg, where is it? Theo wears his heart on his sleeve. Love this man. I don't like that Manitoba tries to claim you. You're Sask made. Can we make that clear right now?
Well, I'm a prairie boy. Manitoba,
okay,
Saskatchewan, Alberta.
Okay,
you know,
I'll take that.
I love the West. I love living in the West. I love the people that live in the West, and you know, it's been a love-hate relationship.
You're kicking the camera. Watch your feet. They're just so you.
But you know, it's
home.
It's been great. You know, tonight we're roasting Lanny down at the Saddle Dome, and that's what I love about Alberta is you know, they've been the most generous, most philanthropic people. And, you know, when I first came to Calgary, not only were you expected to be a great hockey player for the organization, but you were also supposed to be a good citizen. And that's probably the thing that I cherished the most of my experience as being a Calgary Flame was to be involved in the community, get out in the community, be involved in charity work, loan your name to great causes and all of that. And, you know, some of my best friends aren't people who I met in the game of hockey. They're the people that I met doing charity work in this great city.
Yeah. Well, I'm looking forward to it tonight. I will see you there tonight. And by the way, in the 2 minutes we have left in this segment, can you please, I told you Stu Grimson and I were talking about the night he fought Dave Brown, and he said in Edmonton, and he came back to the bench. Did he one-punch Dave Brown up there? I think he did, or close to it.
It was close to it, yeah.
You were like, Grimmer or Stu, dumbest thing you could have done, right?
Stu is always a gamer, though. You know, he got drafted out of Regina with 1 assist. He had 1 assist in a whole entire season. How do you go a whole entire season and get only 1 point? But what made Stu great was he was willing to stick up for his teammates, but he was such a great guy in the dressing room. He was funny, smart, articulate. He's a lawyer now, right? Hard to believe,
Practicing lawyer. I said, are you ever going to stop practicing and do it for real?
Yeah.
Anyway.
But, just a great guy, a really solid, great human being. And we had a little tate-to-tate on on Twitter the other day. So it was
about
funny.
What?
Well, I compared, I think I said something to Rachel Notley about Build Back Dumber instead of Build Back Better, and I spelt it wrong. And so Stu, corrected me. And I go, Stu, do you honestly think I care about spelling?
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
We'll be back more with Theoren Fleury live from Grey Eagle. Lisa Bowes coming up in hour 2. It is the RP Show on Game Plus TV, YouTube Live, and WQEE 99.1 FM.
Have you subscribed to the Rod Pedersen Show YouTube channel yet? Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now.
Is it time to take your event online? Bring it to IKS Live. We've got a fully customized virtual event platform with remote guest support for your next fundraiser, talk show, conference, performance, and more. IKS Live offers live streaming to Facebook Live and YouTube and pre-recorded capabilities, both in our studio with green screen available and on location with pre-production and post-production services. Visit us at ikslive.ca.
Universal Collision Center is Saskatchewan's premier auto body shop. Our extensive process ensures that every vehicle that comes through our state-of-the-art facilities is returned pre-accident condition, and that every UCC customer experience is an easy one. We're certified to repair all makes, all models, and all luxury brands, and Universal Auto Spa offers full-service detailing packages to suit you and your vehicle. Plus, we're the official body shop of your Saskatchewan Rough Riders. Universal Collision Center, 3910 Rochdale Boulevard and 2355 First Avenue in Regina.
Smoky in the air, that's a lot of prime. Big time, big time, big time, big time.
And that's a wrap on summer, everyone. Things are about to get back to busy. Work, school, errands, they're all coming back. That's why we make buying easy at Capital Ford Lincoln. We have a great selection of brand new F-150s in stock. Drive it off the lot today. Reserve an incoming unit or pre-order the perfect vehicle for you. And make some cold hard cash by selling us your used vehicle. We pay big and you can skip the hassle of selling privately. Plus, our service department is always here to help with any make or model. Capital Ford Lincoln, making back to busy easy.
Easy snacking all around. Something everyone can love.
Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. Experts in all residential and commercial plumbing services and proudly serving Regina and area since 1978. Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. We'll treat you right.
Here's how your business can be a part of Canada's fastest growing sports talk show. All you have to do is contact us, and we will tell you all about the dynamic and exciting marketing opportunities we have, utilizing a fully integrated 360-degree multi-platform. Imagine your business seen and heard across Canada on Game Plus TV and around the world on the Rod Pedersen Digital Network. You will use one of the most overused expressions in sports. You gotta be kidding me. Get your business involved. Contact the Rod Pedersen Show today.
live. We're back live at Regal Resort and Casino. Before more with Theo. From the dub last night, Boria Vallis had a hat trick and added an assist as the Regina Pats skated past Edmonton 7-4. In the Brand Center, Connor Bedard had a goal and 4 assists. In Kamloops, Reed Schaefer scored 124 into overtime to lead the Seattle Thunderbirds past the Blazers 2-1. In Winnipeg, Owen Pedersen struck twice and added 3 assists as the Ice topped Red Deer for a second straight night, this time 7-4. In Lethbridge, Joe Arnson's goal early in the third stood as the winner as the Hurricanes edged PA 2-1. In Kelowna, Adam Kidd scored on the power play shorthanded and at even strength, added 2 helpers. The Rockets beat Prince George 8-6. And in the NFL, the Carolina Panthers host the Atlanta Falcons in an NFC South showdown tonight. Carolina sits at the bottom of the division at 2-7. Atlanta, meanwhile, our Falcons, #Rise Up, as we're on the air, WQEE in Atlanta today. They are neck and neck with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers at 4-5. The sports update for Ito Japan. From hand-rolled sushi to bento box meals made with their famous teriyaki sauce, Ito Japan's menu has something for everyone. Theo Fleury is here, a Hall of Famer in every regard. You were nodding your head as I read those dub results. Is that because you just love junior hockey still, or what?
Yeah. I tell kids all the time that this is the greatest time of your life, right? Junior hockey is the greatest time of your life. Why? Because you don't have a mortgage.
Yeah.
You don't have kids. You don't have, so take full advantage of it and, enjoy the experience, My 4 years in Moose Jaw were, the funnest times of my life. 2 World Juniors and winning a World Junior, and then, playing in Moose Jaw, which is an incredible place. Think about all the hockey players. Like, how many Stanley Cup champions have the Moose Jaw Warriors produced? It's crazy. It's crazy.
I saw a photo with Cooper Alls were making a comeback this week.
Love it.
Somebody sent me a photo of Buck Burger in the Cooper Alls, and I thought, man, what a time to be alive.
Yeah.
80s hockey.
Yeah. Well, I believe that in my generation, the 80s was the greatest generation to be alive. Music, culture, old school, it was just a great time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
By the way, Serena's brother Nathan wants to know about the house you bought. He wrote me this morning and said, "Can you ask Theo? Is it true he bought a house in Arizona and lost it?" This is when you're active in your addiction. I didn't know that story. Can you answer that story?
So when I went to treatment in Santa Fe, New Mexico, to a trauma treatment facility, and while I was there, I absolutely fell head over heels in love with the city of Santa Fe, New Mexico, and got my first AA sponsor there. And as the days leading up for when I was getting out of the treatment facility, I had a sponsor, and he picked me up at the treatment center. He said, "I want to take you out to this place." So we're driving out, middle of the desert, like there's nothing. And all of a sudden, this this incredible golf course shows up. We pull up at the clubhouse, and I'm like, holy cow, this place is awesome. And they had great recovery in Santa Fe. They had a friendship center where they had a meeting on the hour, every hour, 24 hours a day. And I had this sponsor. So I said to him, I said, "Do you know any real estate agents in town?" He says, "Yeah, my sister-in-law is a real estate agent." And so the next day we started looking at property there, and I ended up buying a house, and I ended up living there 4 summers in a row, and just fell in love with the place. It was just beautiful and gorgeous. So as after I retired, I went back to Santa Fe to live, and needless to say, it was a train wreck. And and then my book comes out in 2009. They want to do a documentary to go along with the book, and so I went back to Santa Fe. And do you think I can find the house that I lived in for 4 years? Couldn't find it. Couldn't find it.
Hard to believe, even for a recovering alcoholic like me. How did you find it?
I think the director of the documentary found it. We actually were in the backyard because somebody was living there, and I was trying to find the gun that I threw out in the desert after, my failed suicide attempt. But yeah, it was just weird that I couldn't actually find the place that I'd lived in for 4 years. So tells you what kind of state of mind I was in at that time.
Which reminds me, and by the way, my good friend Kevin the Medium, who doesn't agree with your COVID views, does write in and say, many years ago I sold Theo and his wife a bunch of furniture. Was a great experience. Meeting him was always awesome. I'm still waiting for my tickets to a game, Theo. LOL. So it is, I like to say, if we can talk about political views and not get so upset, we can still be friends. But we still have another segment with you, but you said something about how comfortable you are now compared to where you were in a past life. Would you mind sharing that?
Yeah. So, for many years of my life, I was so uncomfortable in my own skin, I couldn't even sit in a chair for 5 minutes. And now, like I've done a lot of work, like a lot of work to get to the place that I'm at today. And for the first time in my life, I feel incredibly comfortable in my own skin. And a big reason why is because I'm standing in my truth. In 2009, I told you the whole entire story. And now, venturing into the, political world, I really believe I'm standing in my truth today. And that's why I'm so vocal and so involved in politics is I really believe that I am standing in my truth. And when you stand in your truth, you're going to be comfortable.
Wayne in Victoria, BC, watching, says Theo was so brave to tell his story and the truth as he sees it. And that's the thing, is I've told a few people this morning, people were up my ass about having Theo on. I said, this guy has seen the worst that this world has to offer for a long time, recovered, and still helps people. Think about that.
Every day.
Right.
Every day.
You don't talk too much about that.
No, because it's
kind of anonymous work.
I don't do this for the fame or the recognition. I do it because somebody else did it for me a long time ago, right? And, that person was paying it forward. Now I'm paying it forward for, the next person. And that's what this is all about. And the most incredible thing is if you look at all of the comments on my Twitter feed, they go after the past.
Yeah.
They go after the past. And that tells me that I'm right over the target and that I'm speaking the truth. Because if I trigger people so badly that they have to bring up my past history, I know that I'm standing in my truth, right? I know that I'm standing in my truth. And, we live in a world that's so incredibly divided. And when we come together, vaxxed, unvaxxed, liberals, conservatives, greens, libertarians, whatever you call yourself, when we come together, this is all over. And I want to know one person who can sit in front of me and look me in the eye and said their life is better 7 years ago than it is today. It's not. And all I'm trying to do is make the country better, more prosperous, more abundant, less homelessness, less addiction problems, less mental health issues. That's why I'm in this fight. I'm not in this fight to become even more famous.
You're good there.
This is the last place.
You're good there.
But this is the last place I want to be, Rod.
Yeah.
I would rather be in Mexico on a golf course playing golf every day and enjoying the fruits of my, the first 54 years of my life. This is the last place I want to be. I don't want to be doing this. But like I said, I've been called to do this, and I'm going with it.
You're chosen.
Yeah.
From Corey Pedersen, watching in Tallahassee, Florida. Fleur speaks the truth. I've never heard you called Fleur, but he would.
That was my nickname.
Oh, let's call you Theo.
Yeah.
We'll be back with hockey stories right after this. Lisa Bowes at Hour 2. We're live from Grey Eagle Resort and Casino on Game Plus TV, your favorite podcast platform, at WQEE, The Key, 99.1 FM.
Have you subscribed to the Rod Pedersen Show YouTube channel yet? Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now.
Grey Eagle Resort and Casino. Grey Eagle Resort and Casino.
You might not be injured if you slip and fall, or you might fracture your wrist, resulting in a lifetime of painful arthritis. Take safer steps with WorksafeSask.ca.
Universal Collision Center is Saskatchewan's premier auto body shop. Our extensive process ensures that every vehicle that comes through our state-of-the-art facilities is returned pre-accident condition, and that every UCC customer experience is an easy one. We're certified to repair all makes, all models, and all luxury brands, and Universal Auto Spa offers full-service detailing packages to suit you and your vehicle. Plus, we're the official body shop of your Saskatchewan Rough Riders. Universal Collision Center, 3910 Rochdale Boulevard and 2355 First Avenue in Regina.
Lot of sun, smoky in the air, that's a lot of pine. Big time, big time, big time, big time.
And that's a wrap on summer, everyone. Things are about to get back to busy. Work, school, errands, they're all coming back. That's why we make buying easy at Capital Ford Lincoln. We have a great selection of brand new F-150s in stock. Drive it off the lot today. Reserve an incoming unit or pre-order the perfect vehicle for you. And make some cold hard cash by selling us your used vehicle. We pay big and you can skip the hassle of selling privately. Plus, our service department is always here to help with any make or model. Capital Ford Lincoln, making back to busy easy.
Business owners and marketers. Okay, we know you think we're pretty cool. That's why we want you to share in the coolness factor. Partner with the Rod Pedersen Show and market your business every weekday to sports lovers just like yourself. Take advantage of our many cost-effective commercial and promotional opportunities. Tell the world about your business. Yes, the world. Thanks to Game Plus TV and the Rod Pedersen Digital Network. Contact us today and find out how you can be a part of Canada's fastest-growing sports talk show, The Rod Pedersen Show.
All right, we're back live from Grey Eagle Resort and Casino. It is our final day, sadly to say, and final segment with Theoren Fleury. And just before we bring in Theo, we're pretty excited. We have a contest winner, 2 tickets to the Grey Cup at Mosaic Stadium next Sunday. We don't know who's going to be playing in it, but the CFL's down to the Final 4, and Bet Regal has been good enough to line us up with the winner of the contest and those tickets. It is Shane Melanson of Deer Valley, Saskatchewan, joining us on the show. He's got his hoodie already. How you doing, Shane? Happy Thursday.
Thank you, Rod. I'm great to be on the show. I've been a fan since day one. So thank you to Bet Regal. Thank you to the RPShow
I appreciate
and to the CFL.
Yeah, hey, listen, tell me how this contest went. Clearly you hadn't planned on going to the Grey Cup, but now you are. What do you think's going to go down? What's the atmosphere? Talk to me.
Yeah, I was super excited for a Grey Cup week, and now with Regal, I'd be able to go to the game. So looking forward to that. Joined the contest, did not know that I was going to win, so I was super happy when I found out.
Hey, looking over your shoulder, I feel like I see a Rider jersey there. They aren't going to be in it, Shane. So do you have a dream matchup that you would like to see, or even a prediction who you're going to see in the 109th Grey Cup?
Well, I'd like to see the BC Lions and Montreal Alouettes, but that might be hard to get both those teams in there. So we'll cheer hard on the weekend.
Okay, well, that would be a rematch of the 2006 Grey Cup. Well, Shane, I appreciate it. We will see you next week at Grey Cup week down at Ballers, where we are broadcasting the show live. And thanks for entering the contest, man. Appreciate you.
Thanks again to everyone. Thanks, Rod.
Shane Melanson, the winner of our 2 tickets to the Grey Cup, courtesy our exclusive betting partner, Bet Regal, and the exclusive sports book of the Canadian Football League. All right, Theoren Fleury's here. And Theo, I got to ask you, we do so many speaking events. When's the last time you've done a true, straight-on hockey story sports banquet?
Last time we were together.
Is that right?
In Delisle.
Delisle, that was the last one? Because it's fun. I've got people calling me going, would Theo do just a straight-on one, not a mental health one? I said, Theo can do whatever the hell he wants. You would, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I'm not a one-dimensional guy.
No, not at all. And so, speaking of that, you said you're not following a lot of the NHL, but the Calgary Flames have lost 6 in a row going into Boston tonight.
Yeah.
You can't live here and not know that. What's your analysis on the Flames real fast?
Well, starting the season at home, and you've changed the core of your whole entire sort of leadership, it's going to take a while to gel. And, they always say getting on the road helps. I believe the last couple games they played pretty well, just made a couple mental errors, mental mistakes. But there's so much parity in the NHL right now, with the salary cap, and and that's what they wanted the salary cap to essentially be, was bring more parity into the game. And so, on a Tuesday night, you go to Long Island, you're going to be in for a tough fight, So I believe that they are a way better team on paper. The beginning of the season showed that, Huberdeau, obviously hasn't been as good as he was predicted, but I guarantee by the end of the season, this will all play itself out. They have a great coach, so I'm not worried about it.
Me either, but try and convince some people around here of that.
Yeah,
boy, they go nuts. All right.
People live and die with the hockey team.
And it's awesome.
Yeah.
Theo, thanks, man. You are the best. I'll see you tonight.
See you tonight.
All right, Lanny's Roast coming up in the Saddle Dome. Lisa Bose, next hour, live from Grey Eagle. We'll be right back. Stick around after this break on Game Plus and WQEE.
Have you subscribed to the Rod Pedersen Show YouTube channel yet? Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now.
Nestled in the scenic Qu'Appelle Valley, just 20 minutes northwest of Regina, is one of the finest golf courses in all of Saskatchewan, the Deer Valley Golf Club. The clubhouse has a full-service restaurant, and customers can enjoy a casual dining experience with spectacular views of the golf course and valley. A fully stocked golf shop, staffed by PGA of Canada professionals, is equipped to meet all of your golf apparel and equipment needs. Book your tee time, family event, or corporate tournament today at the Deer Valley Golf Club. Call 306-731-1445.
I gotta hit the beat. Gotta hit the beat. Gotta hit the
Download Dark Horse Bets today.
I gotta hit the beat.
Your family needs a break. Delta Hotels Saskatoon welcomes you to our newly renovated hotel and water park. You deserve a vacation close to home. Enjoy world-class hospitality and upscale surroundings. Rediscover Saskatoon. You can enjoy time away from home right in your own city. The kids will love the water slide. Delta Hotels Saskatoon downtown. All the essentials and then some.
You might not be injured if you slip and fall, or you might hit your head and cause a lifelong injury. Take safer steps with WorkSafeSask.ca.
Universal Collision Center is Saskatchewan's premier auto body shop. Our extensive process ensures that every vehicle that comes through our state-of-the-art facilities is returned pre-accident condition, and that every UCC customer experience is an easy one. We're certified to repair all makes, all models, and all luxury brands, and Universal Auto Spa offers full-service detailing packages to suit you and your vehicle. Plus, we're the official body shop of your Saskatchewan Rough Riders. Universal Collision Center, 3910 Rochdale Boulevard and 2355 First Avenue in Regina.
People donate blood for moments like this.
But there are lots of reasons why Canada's Lifeline needs donors every day.
Like the fact that someone with leukemia can need up to 8 units of blood a week.
Or that donated blood lasts no longer than 42 days.
Or to help new moms and babies, like Henry.
There's lots of reasons to donate blood. That's why we need donors every day.
The need for blood is constant. Join Toyota and our Toyota dealers in supporting Canada's Lifeline.
Here's how your business can be a part of Canada's fastest growing sports talk show. All you have to do is contact us, and we will tell you all about the dynamic and exciting marketing opportunities we have, utilizing a fully integrated 360-degree multi-platform. Imagine your business seen and heard across Canada on Game Plus TV and around the world on the Rod Pedersen Digital Network. You will use one of the most overused expressions in sports. You gotta be kidding me. Get your business involved. Contact the Rod Pedersen Show today.
In the 80s, wearing Cooperalls, for those that don't know, the hockey pants that were actual pants that went right down to your ankles, was a status symbol. And believe me, they were. And people are writing me, no, they weren't, Rod. That's why they didn't last. Okay, maybe not in your world, because you don't know what it's like to be cool. But in the 80s, if you had Cooperalls, you were cool. And the Philly Flyers are bringing them back. But people that don't know cool, they will never, ever be convinced of that.
This is the Rod Pedersen Show.
All right, here we go. It's a party here at Grey Eagle Resort and Casino. I got to tell you, it's our last day of 21 weeks at Calgary's entertainment destination, Grey Eagle Resort and Casino. We're broadcasting from the Stage Bar. We're on Game Plus television across all 10 Canadian provinces, 31 U.S. states, and on the radio, WQEE, your southern home of sports and talk, 99.1 FM in Atlanta, and of course your favorite podcast platform. We're working our way towards a busy Thursday night. It is our final show of the week, too, by the way. We'll be observing Remembrance Day and obviously Veterans Day on Friday, November the 11th. It's a busy night in the NHL. 3, 6, 9, 10 games in the NHL. Thursday night football, Atlanta Falcons, #Rise Up, at Carolina tonight. We'll get into all of that when our COO, Lee Genier, joins us later on this hour. And we've got Gerry, the chairman of Spirit of Edmonton, coming up, getting ready for Grey Cup. We had Theo Fleury last hour, and after all of that, we welcome, making her RPShow debut, best-selling author, TV veteran Lisa Bowes. Welcome down to the Grey Eagle, Lisa. How are you?
I am fantastic. Thank you, Rod, for having me, and it's so nice to be in front of a mic again. It has been a while. This is a nice one, too.
I'll tell you what, a lot of people were very excited when they heard you're coming down. Lisa, man, we got a lot to get to here. I hope we get time. You're trailblazers in the industry. You're a little worried about the lighting. Can you see yourself now?
The lighting, perfect. The lighting is fantastic. I'm very impressed with this set.
It is good, isn't it? Well, Lee's on top of that. Our Lee Genier here at the Grey Eagle. Listen, let's just cut right to it. Your sixth book is on the way. Tell us about this. You're an author now.
I am an author now. So after many years, as you know, 30 plus years in sports media, I guess I'm coming back on my phys ed degree. So that's what I did before I got into media. And I've become, when I was covering women's hockey at the Vancouver Olympic Games, is when this idea came to me. I didn't see many books out there that were related to sport and that were encouraging our kids to try different types of sport. And I had a young child at the time. So I guess my message to your viewers and to your listeners, I'm really wanting to target our parents and our caregivers out there, that it's so important that we inspire our kids to be active and to persevere. And that's what my series is all about. It's called Lucy Tries Sports. And we started with Olympic type sport. I was in that Olympic mindset. And so we began with luge and short track, and then we've then increased it to soccer. Lucy tries soccer. Lucy tries basketball, hockey, and in the spring we will come out with Lucy tries baseball. And Rod, all of these books, Lucy is, as I like to think of it, she is that global multi-sport champion for all kids. So it is a female character, which I relate to as a female in sports media. But what we're saying is that she's for all kids, and boys love her too, because kids do not see gender. And so in Lucy's journey, she is inspiring kids to be active, to try sport, and to persevere. And I think the perseverance factor is so important coming out of COVID. So there's a lot of purpose to the text and the artwork. We've built them on reinforcing healthy principles for child development. So what we know our kids need in order to stay in sport.
Good for you.
Well, we
Good
see
man.
so many kids, you see it yourself, how many start to drop out, and especially our girls. So if we can get them as they're learning to read, this is the thing, we're reinforcing reading literacy and physical activity.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, I'm so proud of you. Congratulations on all of that.
Thank
but
you.
listen, now, to the viewers that aren't familiar with Lisa and our U.S. listeners, you see our guy Lucian down here. He's key to this story, Lisa, because I want you to tell your broadcast story. He said yesterday, that old guy you had, I said, Arnie Jackson? Yes, great speaker, great broadcaster. He goes, I don't really care about the horses and the rodeo, but great talker. He goes, I just love listening to you. And listening to you right now, you are a polished broadcast veteran. And you came up in an era where hiring a woman was not the thing to do. You earned it. Would you not agree? I'm not saying the current ones haven't, but you were just a trailblazer. Gender wasn't really a thing then for you.
Rod, I think at that time, I started in 1989. So
Yeah.
4 years after TSN went on the air. My first job actually in sports media, as I said, I was a phys ed major, and then I did student radio and all those things. And I really wanted to get into sports television. You're right, there were not very many women in Canada. Brenda Irving, 100%, someone I have a great deal of respect for. Icon. Brenda, I think she just called her 12th Olympic Games in
She's
Tokyo. Teresa Hergert, who was also there at TSN at the time. So there was only a few of us. But I started, Rod, actually, as a writer at TSN before I went on the air. As an editorial assistant, we were called Flugans. And we were responsible for writing the highlights for the commentators. And I was the first female Flugan at TSN. And I'll never forget Jack Hutchinson asking me, how would you like to break the sexual barrier at TSN? And they used to joke with me, how are you making out over there with the Penguins? Because it was all guys. But man, oh man, did that set the foundation for me later as a reporter and then a commentator. Because we were asked to write the highlights. You had to know the material. And we made $50 a shift, Rod. $50.
You're probably happy to get it.
For the shift. Didn't matter, there was no overtime.
What? What's that?
And then the government would come and take tax off. But we were so happy because we were in that environment, the early days of TSN, and it really did set the foundation for my career to come as a reporter in Winnipeg, Calgary, Toronto, and so on and so forth.
Boom. And some of that, like you must get, I get asked all the time, you must. What's the highlight?
Highlight for me, Olympic Games for sure. I mentioned that 2010, to be able to be part of a home Olympic Games, that doesn't come around that often. Covering Stanley Cup playoffs, I'll never forget. I love thinking about Patrick Waugh and Jeremy Roenick. I love that series when they were, back and forth with each other. It was different times back then, how players were, how they spoke. Social media was not a big thing. I was very blessed to spend time in Calgary during the Doug Flutie, Jeff Garcia years. One of my favorite Grey Cups. I understand from Lee that you are heading back to Regina.
Yep.
And that is actually 1995. That Grey Cup is one of my favorites. I actually still have my jacket. Love that.
It was so big time.
So big time.
Yeah.
So many highlights, and I'll mention just one more.
You go ahead.
Oh, well, I've got a million.
Well, you give her this. You're the guest.
Well, Stu Hart.
The ageless Stu Hart, the founder
Stu Hart,
of Stampede
the founder
Wrestling.
of Stampede Wrestling and the forerunner to WWE, WWF. An amazing story that was for me. I did that for TSN Sunday that John Wells used to host, and just to get in that inner circle and to be in the dungeon, and I know wrestling fans, you know what I'm referring to. What an incredible experience, and to interview Bret Hart, Owen Hart, God rest his soul, and Premier Ralph Klein as well. For that story, that's one of my favorites actually, is Stu Hart. People always ask, because I know they ask you, who is your favorite player to talk to? And for me, it's actually, I remember Stu Hart and a gentleman by the name of Tom Spear. We went and played a game of golf. He was 100 years old, fought in both world wars. He was 70 years older than me at the time. And those are the stories that sometimes stick with us.
It's not the people.
Not the ones that you might think.
The big moments are fun too. But when you stand there and just go, wow. That was a wow moment for you, obviously.
It was a wow moment. And yet I do love, obviously, pro sport. I love covering the Blue Jays in Dunedin. I feel very blessed and lucky to
kind of done it all, Lisa.
have all those experiences, and also play-by-play, to be able to have that opportunity to break into and you have done that yourself. That was a big moment as well. And amazingly, Rod, for me, that opportunity to call some hockey games and some basketball, I took much quicker to basketball because of the pace of the game, the substitutions. That was actually 20 years ago. Mm-hmm. So I'm happy to see that is continuing to evolve.
Well, and you've got a voice that Lucian was talking about. You got a good voice too, right? where it mattered. It mattered. It doesn't matter as much anymore, male or female. Voices don't matter as much. The look, I don't really know what does matter, but we do. What we're doing here works, and we're having a hell of a lot of fun with what we're doing. John in Winnipeg wants to know if you are a Jets or Flames fan.
Ooh, and that game is coming up, isn't it? Flames and Jets this weekend. I have to be honest. I have covered the Flames, so two tours of duty, right? Mid to late 90s, lean years. Although I did see the debut of Jerome McGinley when he was called up from Kamloops in that one playoff round. The Jets will always have that feeling for the Jets, maybe because Winnipeg was where I had my very first on-air job for CKY, CTV in Winnipeg. I was there during the Tamu years, so I think I'm always going to pull for Jets.
I get it.
I feel for that community, Rod. I was there. I saw the leaving.
I was going to get to that. Barry Shankaroo. You covered that very closely, right?
Yeah, I did, and it's the Jets were the soul of that community, and I'm so happy to see the MTS Center. I believe it's still called that.
Canada Life Center.
Oh, Canada Life Center. Okay, I can't keep track of all these changes. I still think of Skydome as Skydome sometimes, right?
I think a lot of people still call it Skydome.
Yeah. So to answer your question, I still pull for the Jets. I still remember the White House.
The old White House, because they're doing it now.
Winnipeg Arena, I still remember that. The portrait of the Queen. Sometimes on social media, I think people do see I still have it is one of my homes.
Patrolman Pete in Winnipeg writes, I remember watching Lisa on CTV, always very polished and professional, even at a young age. Did you feel that you were a natural at this broadcast thing?
Oh, not at all. I started, it's interesting. I actually came to Winnipeg to replace Rod Black. So Rod was promoted to the network in 1991. As I said, I've been writing at TSN, and I was trying to find a job. It took me 8 months to find an on-air job. I really wanted to be a reporter. And Peter Young, at the time, the sports director, he was a little bit interested in my tape. My tape was awful. It was embarrassing, but you have to start somewhere. We all start somewhere.
You look the same, though.
You're very kind.
Would you not agree?
I try.
I'm sure you'd look very same. Continue, but
it's your lovely lighting
here. You haven't aged,
yeah. And I think the thing is that at that time, Peter, he saw my potential, but he gave me a great audition. He did not just. He knew I'd be a visual change to Rod, which at the time was a good thing, a new thing, something unique for the world of sports media. And I started on Noon Sports, but he gave me my audition, was actually covering a full-on game day. So I was at skate, it was the Jets and the Blackhawks. I had to file a report and then go to the game, cover the game, and that was my audition to get that job. And that I was happy about that, because that's what you need to be. You need to have merit. I'm very much merit-based. In any sector in our world, I believe that we have to earn our positions, earn our roles. And I feel very good about that.
And you should be so rewarded with your career, because I was watching it from where I was going, she is working for every bloody thing that she's getting. And I was cheering you on every time. And so Peter Young's a legend, says Jeff in Winnipeg. Yeah, he's writing me on Twitter all the time. He's very active on social media. TSN now compared to then, did you guys all feel that you were still building something then, or did you feel like you'd already arrived as a network?
Well, I think the great thing about TSN at that time was that it offered somewhere for those of us who wanted to get into this industry, and we're looking down to the United States and we're seeing what's happening there, as Fox was just getting starting, and ESPN obviously had it, and CBS Sports, and my gosh, like I grew up with Jim McKay, right? That ABC show on the weekends. And so in Canada, here we were just building something, and it was still so new. I guess it started in 85, 91. It's only 6 years at that point. And we were wearing our jackets. We were taking many of you may remember CBC Sports Weekend, and the orange jackets, and the blue, the baby blue,
Hockey Night
powder
in
blue.
Canada ones.
Hockey
yeah.
Canada,
Hockey
Night
Night
Canada, Hockey Night Canada. So we were really starting something that was new for Canada, and to be a part of it, yes, it was a special time. A lot of growing pains, I would say, but we were proud of it, and I still consider those commentators. They were the original. They're the original. Like we lost
Jim
Peter
Van
Watts,
Horn, Michael
Jim Van
Landsberg.
Horn.
We can name them.
You can name
John
them all.
Wells, yeah.
You see that vintage black and yellow. I still actually have my TSN jacket, if you can
I'm
believe
sure
it.
you should.
And that's kind of a neat thing for me to reflect on. But interesting, I was let out of my contract in 1999, and then I came back to them 6 years after that, and it just shows you that it continues to evolve. We continue to evolve. And in our business, in front of the camera, it really does come down to who likes you, who doesn't like you, and you have to just adapt and overcome, as I like to say, especially in COVID times.
No doubt. Hey, we have a minute left. Again, Lucy Tries.
Lucy Tries.
Where can people buy it? What do they need to know?
I better show you what this looks like, because I know we have. So this is the hockey book. So it's in a couple of languages. You can see actually that for this series, there's a diverse set of friends. And Lucy is the lead character, if you will. But again, it's really building on what we know our kids need to stay in sport. So for all our parents, caregivers, grandparents, we need to ensure that our kids are playing, participating. It's so important. They would much rather play on a losing team than sit on the bench of a winning team. They need to master a skill, make a friend, very important for girls, and have a caring adult relationship, so that being the coach. So in a lot of these books, that is what we are working on. So there's a lot of purpose to the text and the artwork. Soccer is one of our big ones right now, Rod, because, of course, the World Cup coming up. I can hardly wait. Soccer was a big thing in Guelph where I grew up, and I played till I was 35, so I can hardly wait. I had the T-shirt in 1986. I had Mexico 86, so I'm pretty sure.
You remember, yeah.
Canada has to score some goals this time around, I would think. So.
All right. Lisa, thanks for the time. Congratulations, not only on all you've done, but what you are doing, and keep it going. I appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
You bet. Lisa Bo's joining us. Lee Genier joins us next. And also Gerry, Haracsi, the chairman of the Spirit of Edmonton. We'll be right back to Grey Eagle Resort and Casino after this on Game Plus TV and WQEE 99.1 FM.
Have you subscribed to the Rod Pedersen Show YouTube channel yet? Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now.
902-518-3033. Pick up your phone and text RP, that's Rod Pedersen. Text 902-518-3033.
I gotta hit the beat. I gotta hit the beat. Gotta hit the
Download Dark Horse Bets today.
beat. I gotta hit the beat.
Grey Eagle Resort and Casino. Grey Eagle Resort and Casino. Casino dancing.
Easy snacking all around. Something everyone can love.
Lot of sun, smoky in the air, that's a lot of pine. Big time, big time, big time, big time.
Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. Experts in all residential and commercial plumbing services and proudly serving Regina and area since 1978. Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. We'll treat you right. And that's a wrap on summer, everyone. Things are about to get back to busy. Work, school, errands, they're all coming back. That's why we make buying easy at Capital GMC. Reserve your brand new truck or SUV today. Check out our great selection of in-stock GM certified pre-owned trucks and make some cold hard cash by selling us your used vehicle. We pay big and you can skip the hassle of selling privately. Plus, our service department is always here to help with any make or model. Capital GMC, making back to busy easy.
Business owners and marketers. Okay, we know you think we're pretty cool. That's why we want you to share in the coolness factor. Partner with the Rod Pedersen Show and market your business every weekday to sports lovers just like yourself. Take advantage of our many cost-effective commercial and promotional opportunities. Tell the world about your business. Yes, the world. Thanks to Game Plus TV and the Rod Pedersen Digital Network. Contact us today and find out how you can be a part of Canada's fastest-growing sports talk show, The Rod Pedersen Show.
All right, we are back at Grey Eagle Resort and Casino. As I said earlier, it is a bit of some long faces around here. It is our final day of 21 weeks in Calgary's entertainment destination. We welcome in our COO, Lee Genier. This feels very much like, I don't know what you'd call it, like a party around here, Lee, today, wouldn't you?
It's a great day. Right?
Yeah, well, it's a great day. Just in and out. Theo, Lisa, yourself. Great job on the lighting again. I'll say that. I don't know what it is about lighting. You're great at it.
I'm a lighting and photography expert.
Yeah, see, Theo said he was multidimensional, as are you, and clearly so too is Lisa Bose. By the way, the text line's open. You see the number 902-518-3033. 902-518-3033. It's kind of open phones the rest of the way, but read my lips. We'll never do open line. Never. But we'll talk about whatever else you'd like to talk about. For you, Lee, what is your, heading into this weekend, what is your sports menu going to look like?
Well, you know what? I'm going to, number one is probably CFL. Actually, is going to be on my list just to see how the Lions come in and play the Bombers.
Yeah.
That's my number one game to watch. Obviously, deep in NFL. And, I'm going to see how the Flames rebound as well here tonight. Looking for a big rebound in New Jersey. So, weekends are just jammed. You can literally watch sports from Friday night to
Or even
Saturday
beginning
night.
tonight. You mentioned
Well,
the Flames
tonight.
are at Boston. We've got
So-
the roast for Lanny. I'm hoping, obviously, they're going to have up on the big screen the game, Flames at Bruins. And then we're going to roast Lanny tonight. I often wonder, because I've been to a lot of roasts in my time, and they obviously went away during COVID because we didn't have any gatherings. How do you roast Lanny McDonald? It's a lot easier to roast a jerk than an angel like Lanny McDonald.
I don't know. There'll be somebody that has some dirt on Lanny.
I know, but I can't imagine
I can't
who it would
imagine
be.
either.
But roasts are so much fun.
They are.
Have you been to many?
I've been to a few, and I've certainly watched a few on TV, and I'm going, I never want to be roasted. So,
I would never subject to being roasted. I don't think so. But I remember we had to roast our mayor one time, Pat Fiacco, and I had a list. He's a great guy too, but I'm like, one thing about Pat, when he became mayor, he never changed. He was always a jerk. But bum.
Jeez,
you can Google roast jokes and just plug in the name.
Yeah.
Regarding our other guests on the show today, from Dan McCabe, he's watching in the Queen City. He says, I recognize the name Lisa Bowes immediately. That girl has still got it. So polished. From Wilf in Steinbach, Manitoba. Hi, Rod. I remember Theo playing in a Pee-wee tourney in Swan River. For a rest, he played defense. Scored at will. Fun to watch. So I appreciate you and your hand in lining these guests up this week, Lee. And Calgary's been such a great town. I don't really want to leave, man. They've been really good to us.
Yeah, I mean, everybody's embraced us so incredibly. That you can feel the love, and I mean, and all the sports teams, just people coming to the casino, Sheldon from the casino, everybody just being, from the Grey Eagle, just treating us so incredibly well. So it'll be, but we'll be back at some point, right?
Yes, absolutely. We will be back. Thank you so much. But they know that I love it here. There's absolutely no doubt. So to the football, you brought it up. The CFL Division Finals. I think there's a case to be made that this is the best weekend of sports, of football on the calendar, because you got your 2 division finals in the Canadian Football League. Next week, and it's down to 1 game. You've got the Hardy Cup, and that's where Moose is, the Canada West Football Championship. He's broadcasting the Huskies and the Thunderbirds from Griffith Stadium, and they've got a special on those watching on these cable carriers. Tell us, SaskTel Max, Bell MTS, you can all watch it. I'm not sure the channel. I'm not TV Guide. But you can watch the Huskies and the Thunderbirds. And then it's Week 11 college football. By the way, tonight, Georgia Southern's at Louisiana and Tulsa's at Memphis. 2 college games tonight. And then Week 10 in the National Football League. Kevin the Medium, my good friend, writes in. He says, Bomber fans are going to need a box of tissues by Sunday evening. I can't wait till Monday to hear the excuses. Oh, the refs. Oh, the Lions are dirty. I was at his house, by the way, a football party. How about this? It was full of Stamps and Lions fans.
I saw
They're actually good people. I had no idea.
It's Canada. Everybody gets along.
Yeah, sure. Ask Theo. But to the BC-Winnipeg game, I sat in bed and read the game notes. It's like my favorite thing to do. Yeah. Are you a believer in history? I wrote it. Are you? Stats
Well, I mean, yes and no. I mean, I think stats don't, from past have zero bearing on what's going to happen on Sunday, just because something happened 20 years ago or for the last 14 years. I don't believe in that. No.
You know what I'm saying, though.
I know what you're saying.
So here's some stats for you, dude. The East final, the home team has won over the last, I think it's 20 years. 70% of the time. No, all time. East Division final winner is the home team 70% of the time. The West final winner is the home team 58% of the time. Why do you think that? That's a pretty big disparity.
Well, I mean, I think that always goes into the home team advantage, right? I mean, for sure. You're comfortable playing in your stadium. Your fans are there. How many people are going to travel from Montreal to be in Toronto? So it'll be interesting. And I mean, you look at Winnipeg, there's that stadium sold out. You got 33,000 people. It's going to be freezing. So, Nathan Rourke, their running game is going to have to be on. if they have a chance to win there, right? So it'll be really interesting, and again how their run defense plays. So
weather is so big, and that's why I don't care for conditions at this time of the year. Although we had John Bender here last week, former Nevada Wolfpack offensive lineman and Stamps lineman. He goes, he loves weather as a lineman, but Sunday in Winnipeg, that's not bad, dude. -6. That's not bad.
No.
I don't know what you'd heard. Tirana for the East final. Sunday, +5.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
+30 in Boca Raton, Florida, by the way.
I was just kind of thinking that, the Calgary, Saskatchewan weather was going to be -25 there. So I haven't actually looked at the forecast. So.
Well, let's go to the big board, i.e. my phone. I just accidentally slipped into Twitter. Hang on. The Queen City, currently -17. Let's just say they were playing the West Final there this Sunday. Had the Riders made the playoffs and advanced this far, it would be -10 this Sunday. Looking ahead to next week, furthest my forecast goes is -13. To our American viewers, this is all Celsius, so you'll have to figure it out on your own. It's not the best week of weather, but the last time we hosted the Grey Cup, which is Canada's Super Bowl, it was like -50 all week till game day. And I think, by the way, next week, by the way, Dan Moriarty is writing in.
Danny.
NHL Cool Shots, y'all. He says, love Theo. Great pick, Rod. Doing well. How could I not be? I'm fortunate enough to live in Los Angeles. Let me know when you're here next. Not soon enough. I'm going to write on that. Not soon enough. There we go. But next week at the Grey Cup, which I don't think you're going to be there, unfortunately. You got work to do out here.
I've got work to do. I may come in for a couple of days.
I would love if you did.
So.
And we got places to stay, but we could sit here and tell great, wonderful stories of Division Finals past, Grey Cups past. Let's be honest. Let's do this. We got a couple segments with you, but we got time here. Lisa Bose was just with us, formerly of TSN, and she brought up the 1995 Grey Cup in Saskatchewan, the Calgary Stampeders and the Baltimore Stallions. Doug Fleury and the Calgary Stampeders. What do you remember? You were with the Stamps then,
I was
weren't
there.
you?
I mean, we have the distinction of being the only team to have lost to an American team, a CFL team to have lost.
Congratulations.
So, yeah, I mean, it was quite the week. I mean, leading up was warm on Saturday, and then come Sunday, it was cold and blustery. Yeah, it was quite the day, and I mean, you didn't have any ratio on Baltimore. It was just a funky day. Obviously, as we went down, we had Jeff Garcia had played a bunch of great games, and Wally obviously put Doug in for the big game, and it was a struggle for us for sure. So it was disappointing because it would have been great to have another ring. So
they count those championships, FYI.
Yeah.
It comes up very often here in Calgary. Just the other day. Oh, it was at Kevin's, the Medium's house party. Because most of the people in that room had no idea that I was the voice of the Saskatchewan Roughriders for 20 years. So they were asking me all these stories. What was it like 13th Man Day? What was this like? What was that like? And I'm like, I don't want to monopolize this house party with all my stories. But they enjoyed it.
Well,
this is the best time of year in Canadian football, obviously.
Yeah, it is for sure. I mean, this is where the legends are made and how things will unfold over the next couple of weeks, which is great.
I haven't had you on in a while. Do you have a take on the Grey Cup halftime act? If I can get the names right, Jordan Davis, Tyler Hubbard, Josh Ross will perform at halftime of the Grey Cup.
Since we talked last, I mean, you know what? I'm sure it'll be a fantastic halftime show. With not huge names there. I know Tyler Hubbard from the Florida Georgia line. I'm sure it'll be fine. I think it was they were behind the ball on this one. I think we beat that to death. I think it was a bit of a
leading up to it we did, but what I'm saying is I haven't asked you about it since.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's certainly a fail. I mean, I think BC had some bigger artists. I think we had bigger artists on our show last week. then
How
they're
about
having for the
that?
Grey Cup act. So you know what, big fail. I'm going to leave it at that. And I guess you just look forward to what Hamilton will do next year. So.
Ryan in Saratoga, New York's watching. He says, I had tickets to go to the 2002 East Division Final at Stade Olympique in Montreal, which is French for Olympic Stadium in Montreal. He says, 3 days before I was set to go, I broke my ankle playing basketball. Needless to say, I wasn't able to go. East Final, right? Those were the days when Montreal would play their playoff games in the Big House, the former home of the Expos. But I will tell you, well, dumb question here. We got about 90 seconds. 2001 Grey Cup. I was just about almost said, were you there? Your team was in it.
Yeah.
Stampeders, Blue Bombers. That was an awesome day, man. And I think to this day, that was the largest attended Grey Cup ever, was it not?
Yeah, 68,000, 67,000.
Ridiculous.
Not too dissimilar from 2008. So have won a couple of Grey Cups in the Big O. So
that's a fun place for you, obviously. You have fond memories.
Yeah.
They don't use it for anything anymore, do they?
No, I mean I think there was a 30-ton chunk of concrete fall a few years ago. So no, it's not as safe.
How about that? A little later on, when Lee comes back for overtime, we'll be talking about tonight's NHL slate. The Falcons are at the Panthers on Thursday Night Football. I wouldn't mind teeing that up a little bit. The Atlanta Hawks. Here come the Hawks. Are home to the pesky Philadelphia 76ers tonight. That should be roadkill, I would think, for the hashtag True to Atlanta Hawks. Gerry joins us from the Spirit of Edmonton next as we get in the Grey Cup fling. We're live from Grey Eagle Resort and Casino on Game Plus, YouTube Live, and WQEE 99.1 FM.
Have you subscribed to the Rod Pedersen Show YouTube channel yet? Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now.
And that's a wrap on summer, everyone. Things are about to get back to busy. Work, school, errands, they're all coming back. That's why we make buying easy at Capital Ford Lincoln. We have a great selection of brand new F-150s in stock. Drive it off the lot today. Reserve an incoming unit or pre-order the perfect vehicle for you. And make some cold hard cash by selling us your used vehicle. We pay big and you can skip the hassle of selling privately. Plus, our service department is always here to help with any make or model. Capital Ford Lincoln, making back to busy easy.
People donate blood for moments like this.
But there are lots of reasons why Canada's Lifeline needs donors every day.
Like the fact that someone with leukemia can need up to 8 units of blood a week.
Or that donated blood lasts no longer than 42 days.
Or to help new moms and babies, like Henry.
There's lots of reasons to donate blood. That's why we need donors every day.
The need for blood is constant. Join Toyota and our Toyota dealers in supporting Canada's Lifeline.
Is it time to take your event online? Bring it to IKS Live. We've got a fully customized virtual event platform with remote guest support for your next fundraiser, talk show, conference, performance, and more. IKS Live offers live streaming to Facebook Live and YouTube and pre-recorded capabilities, both in our studio with green screen available and on location with pre-production and post-production services. Visit us at ikslive.ca.
You might not be injured if you slip and fall, or you might injure your back in a way that causes nerve damage or partial loss of mobility. Take safer steps with WorkSafeSask.ca.
Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. Experts in all residential and commercial plumbing services and proudly serving Regina and area since 1978. Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. We'll treat you right.
Nestled in the scenic Qu'Appelle Valley, just 20 minutes northwest of Regina, is one of the finest golf courses in all of Saskatchewan, the Deer Valley Golf Club. The clubhouse has a full-service restaurant, and customers can enjoy a casual dining experience with spectacular views of the golf course and valley. A fully stocked golf shop staffed by PGA of Canada professionals is equipped to meet all of your golf apparel and equipment needs. Book your tee time, family event, or corporate tournament today at the Deer Valley Golf Club. Call 306-731-1445.
Here's how your business can be a part of Canada's fastest growing sports talk show. All you have to do is contact us, and we will tell you all about the dynamic and exciting marketing opportunities we have, utilizing a fully integrated 360-degree multi-platform. Imagine your business seen and heard across Canada on Game Plus TV and around the world on the Rod Pedersen Digital Network. You will use one of the most overused expressions in sports. You gotta be kidding me. Get your business involved. Contact the Rod Pedersen Show today.
RP Show continues from Grey Eagle Resort and Casino. Aerial coverage provided.
Have you subscribed to the Rod Pedersen Show YouTube channel yet? Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now.
Sorry, guys, don't know what happened there. That's the thing. All right, let's try that one more time. Aerial coverage presented by New York Fries. We'll tell you more about them in a moment, other than their giving back by hosting free public skating opportunities at ice rinks around Calgary. Visit FamilySkateYYC.com for a full list of times and locations. Again, presented by New York Fries. Apologies to Gerry, chairman of the Spirit of Edmonton. And we all know Spirit of Edmonton if you're a Canadian football fan. Gerry's with us. I think he's on the road. He said he was in Vegas. Gerry, welcome to the RP Show, brother. Where are you catching up with us from today?
Thanks for having me, Rod, and I apologize for the background. It's my hotel room in Caesar's Palace, overlooking the Strip in Las Vegas. So yeah,
absolutely no apologies necessary there, Gerry, at all. No, not at all. Listen, we're all big Grey Cup fans. We're all big party fans, and we're heading to the Queen City for the 109th edition of the Canadian Championship. Spirit of Edmonton is a staple. Tell me what we need to know about Spirit of Edmonton this year.
You know, we're looking so forward to getting to Regina. We fly in on Wednesday. We're going to be setting up at the KANE-less Arts Center in the main conference room on the lower level. We have room for about 1,500 people per night. We have a full slate of great entertainment coming in. We're using a lot of local bands from Regina. We bring in a band from Edmonton, and then, of course, we bring Spoiled Rotten from Moncton. So we're representing coast to coast almost across Canada with our talent. We have the Tavria Ukrainian School of Dance performing in our room. We have the Regina Pipe Band coming in. We have the Riders Pep Band coming in, and we have every cheer team representing all coming into our room. We open Thursday, 4 o'clock, the KANE-less Arts Center, and it's just it's going to be a fun, crazy show.
Buddy, you covered all my questions right there. You're prepared. You know it. And I know that venue, 1,500, will be jammed every night. And I for lineups and that sort of thing, I guess it's first come, first serve. Like basically get there early, right?
Yeah, get there early. You know, we have a $10 cover charge, and it's just you pay the $10 to get in, and you're $10. It's amazing what you get for $10. You know, our lineup is incredible. And traditionally, you know, we have lineups starting right at 4 o'clock when we open the doors to get going.
I have no doubt. Obviously, this will be my 21st Grey Cup. I'm infinitely familiar with the Spirit of Edmonton and habitually, you know, one of the best parties of the week. Now, Saturday morning, too, by the way, is always the big event. You guys still doing that?
100%. We have just shipped our 500-liter tank to mix our famous sluice juice in. We will be serving the sluice juice Saturday morning. We still have a couple, just maybe 100 breakfast tickets left at spiritofedmonton.com. But I tell you, we're opening the doors at 7:30 in the morning. We have the Tilted Kilts, band from Regina, on stage at 8 o'clock in the morning. That took a little bit of twisting some arms to say, hey, boys, you're playing at 8 o'clock in the morning, but it's nonstop action from 8 o'clock in the morning right until the breakfast goes from 8 till noon. But at noon, we're not shutting down. We have the Night Train, the Guns N' Roses tribute band from Saskatoon, going to be playing on stage at noon. And then we're just carrying on until we decide to close the doors sometime Sunday morning.
Okay, Gerry, you obviously know what you're doing here. So how long you been around this Spirit of Edmonton thing yourself, doing it?
So I started as a volunteer in 2010. Just got onto the committee and started running the committee mid 2015, 2016. Took over as chairman. And, I say I have a real life job. That is why I'm here in Vegas. And then I have the best volunteer gig as well, running the Spirit of Edmonton. It takes up a lot of time, but it's a passion of mine and my committee. There's 14 of us on our committee that we're all volunteers. We're taking a week off next week from our real life jobs to come to Regina and host, I say the greatest party for the greatest CFL fans in Regina next week. We can hardly wait to get there.
I fully concur. I can't argue with that. But the reason I ask how long you've been around it, you've been there as a patron, you've been there as a volunteer. What do you think the split would be habitually? Because you sell it out every year of that breakfast of new people that have never been to it before versus Grey Cup vets and returnees, do you think, roughly?
We're probably 75% returnees, 25% new people. And I call them sluice juice virgins, because if they don't know what sluice juice is, and I'll bring them a couple of jugs of sluice juice and I'll say to them, just be careful. It's very tasty. It creates a lot of fun, and like I say, we just love hosting, and CFL fans are the greatest fans in the world. We represent the Edmonton Elks. We don't work for the Edmonton Elks. We're not associated with the organization at all, but we love representing the Elks. We love representing the city of Edmonton and the CFL, and we encourage people to wear their team colors to our room. We don't care if you're a Saskatchewan fan, a Calgary fan, a Toronto fan. Come in, wear the double blue, wear the green and white, bring green and gold, whatever. And it's so cool to see CFL fans having fun together and enjoying themselves, and to represent and run the Spirit of Edmonton and make it Canada's party for 4 days. It's such a great feeling. And like I say, we love the CFL. We love CFL fans, and we're really looking forward to hosting in Regina next week.
Well, you couldn't have said it better, and I, again, couldn't agree more, but I've seen fans of all those teams go to the Spirit of Edmonton breakfast and just noon, done. So plan a nap, maybe a lunch if you have to, and it's fantastic. I just remember it must have been 2016. You'd have been involved. I'm going to the Athletes in Action breakfast, Christian event for athletes, basement of the Sheridan Center, downtown Toronto. You guys were a left at the bottom of the escalator. We were a right. I'm almost 8 years sober now. So I'm like, what a change in my Grey Cup activity. So I think I can swing by this Saturday and be able to finally be able to do it safely, because I know it is wild. Again, where can people get their tickets, Gerry?
Tickets for the breakfast, spiritofedmonton.com. Click the link. It's a simple, with technology today, it's simple to go buy those tickets. For the evening show, KANE-less Arts Center, both shows, the evening and the breakfast, are at the KANE-less Arts Center. Evening show on Thursday, we open the doors 4 o'clock, $10 cover. Friday, we're opening at 2 o'clock. And Saturday, we're just not shutting down. We open for breakfast at 7:30, and we'll take our banners down probably at 2 or 3 in the morning and call it another year. But like I said, we're just looking so forward to getting to Regina, hosting the great fans in Regina, and having just a ton of fun, with the Spirit of Edmonton.
All right. Thank you, buddy. Thank you for the time. Travel safely home from there into the Queen City, and we'll see you next week.
Thanks, Rod. I really appreciate your support. It means a lot to us at the Spirit of Edmonton. Thank you so much.
Appreciate you. Gerry, the chairman of the Spirit of Edmonton Committee. When we come back, Our COO, Lee Genier, joins us for one final segment, if you can believe, from Grey Eagle, and a special guest, too. Stick around. We'll be right back on Game Plus TV, YouTube Live, and 99.1 FM WQEE.
Have you subscribed to the Rod Pedersen Show YouTube channel yet? Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now.
Nestled in the scenic Qu'Appelle Valley, just 20 minutes northwest of Regina, is one of the finest golf courses in all of Saskatchewan, the Deer Valley Golf Club. The clubhouse has a full-service restaurant, and customers can enjoy a casual dining experience with spectacular views of the golf course and valley. A fully stocked golf shop, staffed by PGA of Canada professionals, is equipped to meet all of your golf apparel and equipment needs. Book your tee time, family event, or corporate tournament today at the Deer Valley Golf Club. Call 306-731-1445.
Your family needs a break. Delta Hotels Saskatoon welcomes you to our newly renovated hotel and water park. You deserve a vacation close to home. Enjoy world-class hospitality and upscale surroundings. Rediscover Saskatoon. You can enjoy time away from home right in your own city. The kids will love the water slide. Delta Hotels Saskatoon downtown. All the essentials and then some.
And that's a wrap on summer, everyone. Things are about to get back to busy. Work, school, errands, they're all coming back. That's why we make buying easy at Capital GMC. Reserve your brand new truck or SUV today. Check out our great selection of in-stock GM certified pre-owned trucks and make some cold hard cash by selling us your used vehicle. We pay big and you can skip the hassle of selling privately. Plus, our service department is always here to help with any make or model. Capital GMC, making back to busy easy. Bronco Plumbing, Heating and Cooling. Experts in all residential and commercial plumbing services and proudly serving Regina and area since 1978. Bronco Plumbing, Heating and Cooling. We'll treat you right.
I gotta hit the beat. I gotta hit the beat. Gotta hit the
Download Dark Horse Bets today.
I gotta hit the beat.
Does this look familiar? Your fans deserve an incredible arena experience. It's time for an upgrade. Stunning graphics. Revenue opportunities are just the beginning with our in-venue display systems and scoring technology. Let us help you find the best solution for your facility. BDG, always delivering the best fan experience.
Here's how your business can be a part of Canada's fastest growing sports talk show. All you have to do is contact us, and we will tell you all about the dynamic and exciting marketing opportunities we have, utilizing a fully integrated 360-degree multi-platform. Imagine your business seen and heard across Canada on Game Plus TV and around the world on the Rod Pedersen Digital Network. You will use one of the most overused expressions in sports. You gotta be kidding me. Get your business involved. Contact the Rod Pedersen Show today.
All right, one last time for 2022 from Grey Eagle Event Center and the Stage Bar. That's where we are at, Calgary's entertainment destination. Just ahead of Lee Genier stepping in with us for this final segment of Sports Update. There are 10 games on tap in the NHL tonight with 3 involving Canadian clubs. The Flames visit Boston, taking on the Eastern Conference leading Bruins. Oilers at Carolina, and the Senators, losers of 6 straight in regulation, travel to New Jersey. Looking forward to watching that Flames game tonight from the Saddledome tonight at the Lanny McDonald Roast in support of the Calgary Flames Alumni Association and their charitable efforts U.S. President Joe Biden says he hopes Russian President Vladimir Putin will be more willing to negotiate the release of basketball star Brittany Griner now that the U.S. midterm elections are over. He spoke yesterday, hours after Griner's lawyers revealed that she had been sent to a penal colony to serve her 9-year sentence for drug possession. And PK Subban has become a full-time member of ESPN's hockey team. PK, who retired in September, signed a 3-year agreement with the U.S. Sports Network as an NHL analyst. The sports update for Ballers Rec Room, the Tap Brew House and Drive-Thru Liquor Store, and for Red Bull Canada. Red Bull gives you wings. All right, Lee Genier is here, our COO. And Lee, how about this? You've got a friend here. You brought gifts.
Amen.
From one of our wonderful partners here, New York Fries. Heavy. That's some good stuff in there, I can tell. Here from New York Fries.
Yeah. Poutine. American viewers, poutine, go down. I said it, right? Fries, cheese curds, and gravy. New York Fries just happened to perfect it. So, and they brought us lunch today. Thanks so much, Braden.
Thank you, Braden.
Brian, I know he's out there somewhere hiding, but thanks so much, and a great partner of the show as well.
Well, and as we said, they are sponsoring free public skating around Calgary. We're talking to Braden about that. They're rotating it from rink to rink to rink every weekend, and it's gone over very popularly. So I like to hear that. So do a good thing for New York Fries. Stop in and visit them today or throughout the weekend because they're doing great things in your community. By the way, Jeff the Stamps fan writes in and says, Rod is the second best podcaster on the World Wide Web. Joe Rogan still has the edge. I'd be okay being number 2 to Joe Rogan.
Hey man, I'd rather be climbing than falling. So,
which I believe that we are.
Yes, we are.
To
the moon, baby.
To the moon. I say, why are we stopping at the moon, Lee?
Just to refuel.
I'm teasing you. It is. We got 6 minutes left in this segment, which is a lot of time. The text line is open 902-518-3033. The lady that was watching in Illinois has written back, and she wants an answer from Prairie City, Illinois. Why do you get preempted in the middle of the night for in the heat of the night? I had to write her back and say, I don't know. I'm not in charge of TV scheduling in Prairie City, Illinois on Game Plus TV. But I'm always the guy that takes the questions,
I can't answer that. I'm going to have to talk to our friends at Game Plus. I know they're listening right now, but in the middle of the night, I'm not sure what's going on. So I'm sleeping.
I'm not sure. Maybe there's something in here that you know. Lyle Robichaux's watching on Game Plus TV in Toronto, and he says, Moncton, New Brunswick, represent. Spoiled Rotten is amazing. Oh, I see. Great to see East Coast talent. Okay. I don't get rock bands, but that's okay. Like somebody said to me the other day, what is a Florida Georgia line? Well, I know what that is. The band came from the the Florida Georgia state line. I get the country stuff. He's saying Spoiled Rotten, nice to see a Moncton band at Grey Cup. Are you familiar with Spoiled Rotten?
Never heard of them.
You just are Spoiled Rotten.
I am Spoiled Rotten.
Just a quick one from Norm Fong, the Hall of Fame equipment manager of the Saskatchewan Roughriders. He's watching right now on Game Plus, and he said, Rod, I met Theo, Fleury, and Lyle Oderlin when they both played for the Moose Jaw Warriors. Ed Stanowski, who was coaching, asked me to fill in as their trainer one weekend, and Theo was the first player to welcome me into the locker room. What a great guy, Theo. It's unfortunate what he has to put up with from people that just don't share his view. And from Shane, our winner of 2 Grey Cup tickets from our exclusive betting partner in Sportsbook, Bet Regal. He says, thanks again, Bet Regal, RPShow, and the CFL for the Grey Cup tickets and for being on the show. Same show as my favorite NHL player, Theoren Fleury. I'm winding this up to hand it to you. Who is going to compete in the 109th Grey Cup at Mosaic Stadium, November 20th?
I'm going to have to go with Winnipeg and Toronto. I think the line...
You heard it here.
What? So that's your Bet Regal bet of the days.
You're saying an all-blue Grey Cup.
Yep, I'm going with it.
Okay, from John, John in Winnipeg says Rod's podcast is number 1. Thank you, John. I'd have to agree. From Ryan O'Radio in Atlanta, he says, another great show. Thank you, Ryan. Appreciate you. And there's your cue for your programming people, Ryan, at WQE. There will be no live show as we observe and respect the veterans on November the 11th, which is Friday. Stacy, watching from Access World Headquarters, says, great show again, Rod. Safe travels. Back to the heat. Oh, in Florida. Well, I will be going to Grey Cup week first. And do you have a favorite Grey Cup? When they talk about the best Grey Cups of all time, do you have one?
Well, one where we won was always good. I really have to go back to Montreal in 2008. Like, that was probably you had 70, the building was packed. I think we went in there and it was just, and I think Huff said it the best, was...
We got him right where we want him.
70,000 screaming Montreal fans. He goes, man, we got him right where we want him. I was in the locker room for that speech. I mean, it was just iconic.
Are you a Stamps fan, Braden? Absolutely, he says, yeah. Well, hey, funny you'd say 08. And my boy Hank won the Grey Cup, so I get it, but... Didn't the Habs retire Patrick Roy number 33 the night before? And you guys, the CFL, was like, what are you doing, Montreal Canadiens?
Yeah.
Was that
It was a huge thing because, it just took away a lot of the steam of Grey Cup for, because it's a Habs town. So
yeah, but I'm last minute of play in the RP show. Last minute of play from Grey Eagle. I'm glad to hear you say that was the best Grey Cup, though, despite Patrick Roy's number 33 being retired the night before.
Yeah, I mean, there were so many things about that. My hotel caught on fire. Like, it was just, it was one of those very memorable.
It's probably because you were just making too much heat, Lee. That would be my guess.
Ooh.
Isn't it nice to be able to compare Grey Cups and say which one's better of your championships, though?
Oh, it is for sure. I mean, that's what you look back on history and go, hey, I mean, I look at how fortunate I've been in all the different championships, different teams, Grey Cups, and I look back.
As George Strait says, my life's been grand. Thank you, New York Fries. Thank you, Theoren Fleury. Thank you, Lisa Bose. Thank you, Gerry Haracsi. Thank you, Braden from New York Fries. We'll see you back here in the spring at Grey Eagle. For the rest of you, we'll see you Monday from Grey Cup week from the Queen City.
Who has more fun than us?
Have you subscribed to the Rod Pedersen Show YouTube channel yet? Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now.